Hi there. Because it's Christmas, I thought it'd be great to have a glass of fizz. So what I've chosen today is Deutz Marlborough Cuvée Blanc de Blanc. Now, where I'm currently living in New Zealand, Deutz is much beloved quality sparkling wine. I believe the Blanc de Blanc claims to be the most awarded sparkling wine in New Zealand in competitions, to the extent that many New Zealanders are unaware that Deutz's heritage is actually as a champagne firm. Deutz is from Ai, a small town in the Valley de la Marne, where people like Bollinger, Gosset, Ayala are based. And Deutz came to New Zealand back in 1988 and formed a joint partnership with what was then Montana, now known as Brancott, which is now a Pernod-Ricard owned brand based in Marlborough in the north part of the South Island here in New Zealand. And what Deutz did was they brought champagne know-how, and principally what they claim is the Southern Hemisphere's only coquard champagne press, so a large, wide champagne press, which can be used to separate the first pressings, which is the finest juice, to make the best sparkling wine. And the reason that the finest, cleanest juice makes the best sparkling wine is the fact that helps make helps the bubbles to form, because there are less solids in the juice. It's very clean juice, that first pressing. So talking about those bubbles, you can see, hope you can see there, some lovely fine bubbles rising, quite continuously. I've poured this a minute or two back. And part of the process of making champagne that's very important is yeast aging. Now, I've no idea how long this spends in the bottle with its yeast lees, but I believe it's probably about 2 years, which is probably what you'll get with an average non-vintage champagne. What will indicate that? The yeastiness on the nose. So once the fermentation's happened in the bottle, which creates the sparkle for champagne or a bottle fermented sparkling wine, the wine is aged with those yeast lees in the bottle, and the yeast, after about 9 months to a year, starts to degrade, and it adds sugars and proteins to the wine, and that adds body, and it adjusts the surface temperature and allows smaller bubbles to form. So the longer the yeast aging, and some top champagnes will spend 8 or 9 years on their yeast lees, the longer the sparkle and the smaller, the finer the bubble you get. So anyway, enough of the bubbles. You're getting a toasty, almost slightly struck match sort of note here, and a yeastiness, a slight hint of something like Marmite, or, as we're in the Southern Hemisphere, Vegemite. So let's taste it. It's Christmas, so I won't be spitting that out. Lovely, fresh acidity there, quite sharp. Being a Blanc de Blanc, there's not, the wine is more elegant and lean and forward. Pinot Noir would have greater richness and breadth. So this is a classic Blanc de Blanc. Blanc de Blanc means white from whites. So a white wine made from white grapes, whereas in Champagne you're often making that from Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, so grapes with red skins. So you're pressing them softly so as not to get the colour, unless you want it in a rosé. The flavours are quite, the wine's relatively cold, so to keep the bubble in check. The flavours are quite soft. There's sort of apple, there's pear notes, there's a certain lemony citrus acidity, but it's linear length rather than breadth. This is quite a fine, elegant aperitif style before a big meal. It's lovely. As I say, it's got good acidity. It's making me salivate. So from us here at Wine Searcher in New Zealand to all of you, Merry Christmas. Whatever you're drinking, have a great time, and we hope to see you in 2021. Bye now.